And welcome back, everyone, to Who Would Win. Today's Who Would Win comes to us from Clown Furry, who asked the question, who would win in a fight, Megatron versus Vigax from Ben 10? I did Megatron versus Frieza a while back. I had to remember if I did this one. I was like, no, that was Frieza. So look, Megatron is we all know who Megatron is at this point. If you've been around since the 80s, you know who Megatron is. If you're a Transformers fan at all, you know who he is. He was the leader of the Decepticons and basically the arch rival to Optimus Prime. Now he has gone through many different incarnations. And by the way, we're gonna just use a composite version of the character. We're not gonna use any specific version, G1 or otherwise. But he's also gone through a lot of different transformations. He's been, I think his first form, as we see with like the sight scope on him, was a gun that could be that allowed him to shrink when he turned into the gun, which makes no sense. But the gun was a gun. There's a form of him that's a tank, a form of him that's a jet. I mean, if you want to go technical, then you go Beast Wars. He turned into a T-Rex, so technically he was Grimlock. So he's had many different forms, but his transformed, Cybertronian form stays relatively the same in design. Yes. I love that guy, though. He still loves... That's one of those guys who loves doing the voice of that character and will even, do, I think, recordings and stuff where he's like, Happy Merry Christmas, Megatron and all the Decepticons. I hope you have a wonderful Christmas. Yes. I loved Beast Wars growing up. But more importantly, in terms of strength, though, he is comparable to, Optimus. And Optimus, while not the strongest, Cybertronian, period, he is still always considered, near top dog of the peak. Even it's stated that Shockwave is arguably stronger than him. He just has no interest in leading. Shockwave just follows logic and is a leader. But how strong is he and what skills does he bring to the table? Well, he's pretty much near as old as Optimus, so he has millions of years of experience under his belt. He is a master, and so he's a master at combat strategy, deception. Deception means in their name, Decepticon. But deception, and in terms of straight power, he actually brings a lot to the table. I actually had to look into just how strong he is. Apparently, his shots from his, what was it called? Crap. I can't remember the name of the weapon. Is it like a disintegration blaster or something like that? Megatron, hold on. Megatron, yes. I just like doing that. Megatron's, how strong is Megatron? Because I literally looked it up earlier. How strong is Megatron? There we go. How strong is Megatron? Megatron, yeah. He possesses a power from that he can use his where is it? What's the name of the weapon he uses? Basically, it's just the weapon had a name, but basically from his blaster, it's actually designed to disintegrate matter. And apparently he possesses the power to destroy almost any Cybertronian in one or two blasts. It could easily destroy several city blocks. So he's easily a citywide, if not a city block level buster. He's also capable of making a powerful energy mace that is made of pure energy and was actually able to blow away half of Optimus Prime's face. So he is extremely powerful. He's also just extremely malicious in his fighting because he is evil. And if he turns into his gun form or tank form or anything, even in that transformed state, he can still fire off attacks. Plus, he has the enhanced physical strength of a being that would be Cybertronian in nature. His strength is equal to Optimus Prime. He can exceed most superhumans in strength. He's hit Optimus Prime through a mountain at one point. He has the endurability to survive most anything a human can throw at him, and most Transformers can use against him. That's saying that, small arms fire, standard grenades, a bazooka, even standard missiles probably aren't going to do much to him. You would probably have to throw your strongest stuff like a nuke or hydrogen bomb at him. So just to hurt him, if not beat him. And most Cybertronians aren't strong enough to take him on. So Megatron is extremely powerful, but he is also not incapable of being beaten. Obviously, someone comparable or stronger than him can beat him physically. Stronger weaponry, someone who can strategize him. He would not be impervious to things like if, for instance, if I ever do a Magneto versus Megatron video, that's going to be a very quick video because the damn guy's made of metal. So Magneto would just be like, interesting. Boom! They could just do that. Ultimately, he's not infallible, but he's still very powerful. Vilgax. Vilgax was, at least for the first seasons of Ben 10, the main, if not one of the main antagonists of the series. I really did like the original season 2 design of Vilgax. Hold on, I'm gonna actually get that image up here right now. Nope, not that one. Nope, not that one. Where are you? I gotta do this. Hold on. Boop. All right, and then there you go. Yeah, I really liked that design again. That design of Vilgax was really cool. I mean, that was him before that. That's still okay, but no, that was a badass look. Very Cthulhu cyborg combined. I was not as big a fan of that because it made no sense that he just suddenly didn't have to use it anymore. He must have recovered enough they didn't have to use it. And then apparently OV, that's a weird version of Vilgax. I keep saying Vilgax. That's a weird version of Vilgax. It has elements of the design I like in it. It's also a bit more detailed and the colors are a bit more... the color palette is a bit more dark and a bit more rich on it. But, honestly, proportion-wise, I think the only issue I have is the head. Because his head is weird. His eyes are really weird. If they had just honestly kept the standard look he had on those first two, really wouldn't have had much of an issue with that. But anyway, Vilgax, his species name, a homeworld is Vilgaxia. Come on, you name yourself after your planet. Come on. Chimera Generis, I think, is the name of his species. He was also temporarily one half Lucubra, and then one half Lucabra and one half demon temporarily. I think that was when they were dealing with the whole Dagon thing. But yeah, his species is apparently Chimera Generis, which interesting name. To say the least. In terms of how strong Vilgax is, Vilgax already is augmented through cybernetics. Before, he didn't display any special powers, but he was extremely durable, physically strong, and skilled hand-to-hand combatant. Apparently, he had enhanced strength and endurance once surviving a nuclear explosion point blank, though it was made clear he was seriously injured and widely believed to be dead at the time. So again, we're already talking about durability level, someone who can survive a nuke before the cybernetic enhancements. Due to the cybernetic enhancements, he became much taller, was granted immense physical strength, and near invulnerability, which allows him to easily leap above skyscrapers and survive in space, so he can survive in a vacuum. His arms were equipped with boost steroids, which are what those rods in his arm were, allowing him to increase his own strength and range even further. Though it causes him great pain, the boosters give him enough strength to smash apart mountains with his bare hands. He possesses enhanced strength, being able to defeat Ultimos, Manny, and even Humongosaur with a single punch, the impact of which created a large crater, and he could even break through Stinkfly's goo. He could shatter an entire mountain with a single punch, which already puts him on a higher level of physicality than Megatron is. Vilgax possesses immense durability, being able to easily make Diamond Head shatter his own fists, which Diamond Head is hardened crystal. Surviving through an outer space, being thrown into outer space by wave big at high velocity. That's not as impressive as it sounds. Yeah, you got to technically go with the exit. There's the re-entry, and then there's the exiting the Earth's atmosphere. There is the atmospheric burning up in the atmosphere either way, but it's not as impressive as you might think. Withstand Chromastone's lasers, which, okay, recovers within seconds from the Omnitrix explosion, and even endure a brutal assault by Diamond Head. Atomic X, which alien is that? Electro Yeti and 10... Oh, God, it was Atomics and Alien X combined. Oh, dear Lord, he survived that. Okay, yeah, that definitely puts him on a high tier right there. He is where'd you go? He is fireproof, being able to send swamp fires, fire blasts, safely pass through the Earth's atmosphere, and even survive heat blast's most powerful heat wave with no visible damage. Even ultimate swamp fires, Ezra Fire didn't seem to do any visible damage to Vilgax. He possesses I hate these damn ads because he just keeps jumping the screen around. He has enhanced reflexes at one stop to full speed accelerate, who moves at least 500 miles an hour easy. In the original series, he conditioned himself to survive against the harsh conditions of space without protective gear for brief moments. By Alien Force, he became seemingly able to travel through space without any visible equipment. He can fly at high speeds. How he's able to fly, I don't know. Can jump several times his own height. Can project red lasers from his eyes. Kind of a dark side-like thing. Capable of making drastic arcs to assist the pursuit of target. Again, that's very much dark side. That is a blatant rip-off of dark side right there. I didn't even know that about that part. I fell off Ben 10 right around when not Ultimate Alien. Alien Force, Ultimate Alien. But no, yeah, right around Ultimate Alien, I started to fall off of Ben 10. And then Omniverse, I didn't watch a lot of Omniverse Ben 10. It just started. I missed the study. They changed the style up too much. They also changed Ben's character a little bit too much. So I don't know. Anyway, he can also burn Ecternites, which are Ghost Freaks race, and they're also very strong, able to cut swamp fire's vines. He can hear sounds in too faint for normal hearing. So when he hits hearing, he can breathe so powerfully, create cyclones. He can turn into a giant octopus-like monster, which he refers to as true form in the ocean. He has the ability. He's had this ability since the very beginning. He can transform at will. God, he can speak through his DNA, and is shown to be able to talk to Upgrade when he was merged with Rojo. He is also for most of the original series, Ben was unable to defeat him alone. Always waiting thanks to external help. Once Ben gains access to Waybig, he was able to defeat Vilgax with ease. After he became the conqueror of 10 worlds, battling and defeating the champions of each, he drained their power and abilities and added them to his own arsenal, one of whom was Ultimos, who was kind of a Martian Manhunter Superman mix. After becoming the Herald of Dagon, he was given increased power and the color scheme appearance of a Lucubra, and could project multiple energy blasts from his bare hands and eyes. Could also move between Dagon's dimension and back. He used to have Dagon's powers after he absorbed his essence into himself, which amplified him. He lost Dagon's powers though, so we don't care about that. With the loss of his powers, he stole from the heroes he defeated. All Vilgax had left was his monster physical strength and resistance. In addition, he could also project energy blasts from his hands. He does, however, wield a lot of equipment. He could use the Ruby Ray of Ralui as a laser projector. It was able to considerably weaken Ultimos with one shot. According to Vilgax, Ultimos' ability to survive the one shot was unusual, suggesting that the other beings would be killed immediately. He could use the shield of Seagull to generate a powerful force field. Basically, he can become a knight-like shield on his arm and project a dome sphere to protect his whole body to defend. He was basically he couldn't really be broken. He could use his gauntlet as a taser, allowing him to grab and shock Big Shell with all intangible. He also gave him an ability to coat his hands in the light energy and use them for power boxing. His sword projected energy beams or coated itself in flames or create or crystals, able to refract Chromastor's ultraviolet beams. Even without the flames or crystals, it was incredibly sharp, can easily cut through stone. He had a ray gun on his hip, and after fusing with Malware's remains, he gained access to Malware's ability to absorb technology and access all the technology Malware absorbed. His already mighty physical strength was increased to where he could literally punch anything off Galvin Prime and Galvin B with no difficulty, including atomics, one of Ben's strongest aliens. This being said, though, he is vulnerable to the common cold virus. In his true form, if Vilgax is in his true form and becomes weak, he cannot change back to his human form. He also needs the water to be in this form. Despite his durability, he is limited to how much damage he can take, as he still was damaged from the atomic bomb feat. He's vulnerable to electricity, such as generated by oh dear lord, the name of this. Gimlin. His large size makes it difficult to fit in small places, and he's terrified of Riedel, and will leave the scene if she is present. He's also terrified of Topic's face. What the hell is this species of? Okay, it's Shock Squatch. Jesus Christ, that name. Uh, is there a pronunciation I can like a phonetics pronunciation of this thing? No notable. No, not really. There's no real pronunciation of this species name. Dear God. Um. Anyway. Oh wait a minute. Maybe it's here. No. Okay. Oh wait. No. There's no phonetic pronunciation of that. Jesus, that name is intense. Point being, and now that we're at the near 15-minute mark, Vilgax is powerful as hell. He is kind of his universe's version of Thanos or Darkseid, more or less. I'm probably closer to a Thanos just in physicality because he is still a biological creature. God, I've spent all this time going over Vilgax, and this fight's going to be pretty short, I think. I mean, these two are conquerors, these two are warriors, and these two could probably work together for a while before turning on one another. The problem immediately just is that Vilgax on a durability scale is far stronger than anything Megatron has at his disposal. Even strength-wise, Megatron is not really even as strong as Vilgax. He's larger than Vilgax, which is probably the only real advantage he has over Vilgax, is the fact that he is larger and can maybe try to pull a Way-Big and throw him around for a bit. But the problem is he's nowhere near as large as Way-Big, and he's nowhere near as strong as Way-Big. And honestly, Vilgax has more than enough weapons on call and versatility on call, usually, to overwhelm Megatron. So these two might be working together on something. Eventually, they say, now this is the point where I betray you. Is it now? Interesting. By the way, I liked his old voice, too. I think was that Stephen Blum? Was that Stephen Blum? Or was that... Jim Cummings. I don't know, but yeah, I can't remember who did the original voice for Vilgax. It's just like go to Bleach. You're talking about Bleach. The original voice of Kenpachi, the guy who voiced Jiraiya, didn't voice him after the Arankar arc. In fact, once you got into the fake Kurtown arc, and they were fighting Yami, it was immediately someone else's voice. It was the same voice guy who did the voice for Ishin. I don't know what happened. There might have been just some dispute, and they didn't come back again either. I don't know if the actor passed away or something. All I know is I hear the voice of Kenpachi now. I'm like, oh, I missed the old one. The old voice was chef's kiss. This voice is fine. Same what happened with Vilgax as well. I'm like, it's fine, it matches, but that original voice was so good. So they would probably dispute. I mean, I'm not going to argue that Megatron's attacks couldn't maybe temporarily hurt him, but because even without enhancements, he was able to survive a nuke, granted very heavily injured, Megatron does not have the power of a nuke. And now you're talking about Vilgax, who's even more enhanced beyond that. So, yeah, Megatron could probably hit him a couple times, but ultimately between different forms of energy blasts, different forms of energy attacks, highly enhanced durability, and also great, very skilled and combatant as well. And actually being smaller, so he's actually got the blind spot advantage. So ultimately, yeah, I would probably go with Vilgax in this. These guys would duke it out for a little bit, and Vilgax would probably just overwhelm them because he's beaten people much stronger than Megatron in the past to begin with. So I would probably go with Vilgax in this fight. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Who do you think has this fight? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you later.